Alright, so before we even start this thing out, I just want to let you know this is not going to be a good video. First off, I have this horrible facial hair. I look like somebody who got way too into Father John Misty or something. But this video feels like it should be more like a tweet or an Instagram story than an actual well thought out, well edited YouTube video. And trust me, I would rather do those things, but there's kind of unfinished business for me talking about this musician on YouTube specifically. And my YouTube subscriber numbers are a lot different than my other social numbers, so most of you wouldn't even know that I said anything. But for those of you that are still here and want to watch this, let's talk about Dominic Fike. So for half of you watching, you might already be saying, Harrison, you've already made a video about Dominic Fike. Why are you talking about him again, and why now? So Dominic has been getting a lot more popular recently. I saw a video of Billie Eilish telling everybody to go listen to him, and then there's a particular boy band that we all know and love that pretty much made a video introducing him to the world. Usually when I find an underground musician right as they're about to blow up, I make a video about them, and then everybody starts to want to know about them. They can watch my video, I give them the background, I tell them which songs I think they should like, why I like them, why you should like them too. That's the best case scenario. That's why I do this. Unfortunately, it didn't work out like that with Dominic Fike. I made that video in like early November, and then about a month later, I wake up to an email from YouTube one day saying there had been a copyright takedown and that my channel had been given a copyright strike. So that's near catastrophic for a YouTuber to see. Usually what happens is that if a company thinks that you're using their copyrighted material, they just like take your revenue or something, and the video can stay up and nothing bad happens, everything's good. But if you want to like fight for your revenue back and you try and do a bunch of legal action and you go back and forth with the company, and at the very end of all that fighting, if the company still thinks that they're in the right, you're in the wrong, they can give you a copyright strike. And if you get 3 of these copyright strikes, your YouTube channel just gets deleted. Like, my job, the thing that I've been doing for a year and a half nonstop, working so hard on, all of that would be gone. So I never usually fight back when companies try and copyright claim my video. They can take my revenue, but I'm not going to fight back because the risk is much greater than the reward. I do not want copyright strikes. But that didn't even happen with the Dominic Fike video. I didn't try and fight them at all. I didn't even know companies had this power, but my video just got taken down completely from YouTube, and they just gave me a copyright strike for the hell of it, for seemingly no reason. I don't see how that benefits them whatsoever. I make this video promoting their artist, and then I'm incredibly positive throughout the video. I didn't have a single negative thing to say, and then they just decide to take my video down and try to like destroy my channel in the process. So obviously this made me super frustrated, so I hopped on Twitter and just like made this thread explaining the whole thing. I tagged Dominic in it because there was still a chance for them to rescind the strike. They could have taken it back, and if they would have hit me up and just asked me to take down the video or else we're going to give you a copyright strike or something, I would have done that in a heartbeat. So maybe if I made this thread on Twitter, Dominic could somehow help me. He eventually does see it. He DMs me on Twitter, says that he watched my video and that he really liked it. And that's a really cool thing for him to do. That tells you what kind of person he is, because not every musician, especially in like sort of a negative situation, would have reached out to a fan, or I don't know, what would you call me in that situation? But he reached out, so I think he's a good guy. Did he help me get the strike removed? No, but I can't really blame him. He's busy, he's a musician, he doesn't do that kind of thing. He's not the one that gave me the copyright strike in the first place. That was his management. Long story short, for what I think happened and why I got the copyright strike and why they took the video down. So before Dominic was making his new music, the Don't Forget About Me demos, the sort of genre-bending indie rock, he was like a gangster rapper with like violence and drugs, money, girls. That's the stuff he would talk about. And I had a video of one of his music videos as a rapper in my profile about him, because I was, like I always do, just explaining a musician's past, how they got to where they are, and I even praised him for his rapping. But Since he signed his deal, I'm guessing they're trying to completely rebrand him as an artist and get rid of every piece of footage on YouTube that had him as this sort of tougher gangster rap image, and so my video got deleted in the process. Why they had to give me a copyright strike and not just take down the video, which they could have done, I don't know. And that's one of the main things why I'm so salty and mad about this whole situation, is that it's just unnecessary. Like, they didn't need to do that. They could have just taken down the video and not tried to like ruin my livelihood in the process. But then the other thing is, with the stuff that I do, I love bringing great new music to people. It's such a wonderful feeling to have people reach out and thank me for saying, oh, this is my new favorite artist. I love this album. Thank you for showing me. I feel like it's sort of like a journalist when they get a big scoop and nobody else knows about it and they get to be the one to sort of share it with the world. That's how I feel, and I feel like they kind of took that away from me. And I know I'm being dramatic, I'm being salty, whatever, but it just means a lot to me. Anyways, the reason why I'm making this, with Dominic's recent sort of rise to prominence, the Brockhampton video, the Billie Eilish thing, I've gotten a lot of subscribers being like, oh, I went to go back and watch your Dominic Fike video and it's gone, what happened to it? So here's the explanation of what happened to it. And then for all my new subscribers, I've gained like half of my fan base since I dropped that video. I've gotten people requesting a Dominic Fike video and they just had no idea that all of this happened, so here you go. For those of you that still want to hear my thoughts on Dominic and his music, I'd love to tell you, I just don't even want to come close to messing with his copyright strike trigger happy management, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm just going to take the audio clips from my original Dominic Fike video and play them for you guys, but I'm going to cut out all the snippets, I'm not going to have any video footage on screen, and just to be safe, I'm going to have my artist's rendition of his album cover, just to be safe and make sure nothing happens with any copyright. Enjoy the rest of the video, go stream the Don't Forget About Me demos. I hope Dominic has a great career going forward. I have no bad blood with him whatsoever, just his management. Anyway, see you later. Alright, so this is going to be an admittedly short video. I don't know much about this kid, he hasn't dropped a lot of music, but I really think he could be a star. This is Dominic Fike. A friend recently turned me on to Dominic and I can't stop listening to him. What you just heard was the track 3 Nights off of his EP Don't Forget About Me demos. This project came out on October 16th, and it's been making waves around the underground indie music blogging scene. Dominic is a really captivating artist for a number of reasons. First, I want to discuss the genre-bending nature of his music. From what I've listened to, Dominic seems to have his own unique sound, but he's definitely not tied to one specific category. While I was first listening to this EP, a few popular names came into mind. Whether you want to compare him to someone like Kevin Abstract or Rex Orange County, I think the main theme that binds these musicians together is that you can't really put them in a box. His song West Coast Collective is definitely more rock-centric and reminds me of some iconic California pop-punk bands like Weezer. King of Everything changes course a few different times throughout its 3-minute runtime, ending in an ultra-smooth mix of a few different influences. And then She Wants My Money is a track that focuses more on R&B with a little bit of rapping, and there are a few great moments in here that show off Dominic's unique voice. Dominic's variety in sound and genre leads me to my next point. When I was doing research on his other projects, it seems like his initial approaches in music were much more rap-oriented than what he's been putting out as of late. Watch this video for his song Jada Pinkett, which was uploaded over 2 years ago. I almost didn't believe it was the same person, but hey, Dominic Fike isn't exactly a common name, and that tattoo on his cheek is a pretty good identifier. Between his quality of rapping and ease of switching to those softer, guitar-heavy ballads, I think it's pretty apparent how talented he is. With the release of his debut EP came a huge bidding war among different labels. With many industry heads interested in this young musician, it ended up being Sony who cashed out to sign him. So Dominic just released a short but great EP. He's signed to Columbia Records, who has worked with everybody from David Bowie to Beyonce and Johnny Cash to the internet. His sound can be enjoyed by a wide variety of listeners, and I think he has potential to become a star. Check him out, let me know what you think. Hey, thank you for watching that video. It was strange, just an interesting explanation that I needed to get off my chest, so all of you know that. The copyright strike actually expired not too long ago, so it was a good time to post it. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. You can support me through my Patreon, my merch. You can follow me on social media at RenshawHS. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.